Hello and welcome. In this section, we are going to be going over what is called on-page SEO for your article. Now, in the first section, we talked about writing for people, writing for humans, and readability. The goal in the writing for people section is to increase the time on page, get them scrolling, get them interested, looking at pictures, making them feel really good about themselves, like they're really reading a lot, and keep them engaged. Now, the goal of the on-page SEO section, which is what we're beginning, is to communicate to search engines like Google and to communicate to them that this is the best article on the internet and that this is the most reliable article for the searches that people are looking for the keyword terms that people are putting into Google. So in this video, we're going to be going through and I'm going to be showing you how to optimize your articles for search engines. Okay, so we're going to on-page SEO, on-page being on the blog page. There are other types of SEO called technical, which is in the back end of the website with a bunch of crazy settings. This one is pretty relatively easy, but still so many, especially ministries, but so many businesses, so many organizations, nonprofits, they don't even know what keywords are. And so they're just totally missing it. And if you take this to an industry, the likelihood that, if you niche down in that industry small enough, the likelihood you're going to be able to get results for your clients are really good. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. We're going to come over here. And in this video, we're going to discuss, let me see here. We're going to be discussing headers. And we're going to go a little bit more in depth into headers and how that works and how the Google algorithms and other search engine algorithms are going to be looking at those headers and why we need to be doing what we're doing with those. Okay, so let's just ground ourselves. This is a different article. This is a new article. So you can see up here, I have the title of the article so that anybody looking at this knows what it is. It's going to match the title of the article in the WordPress website or whatever website you're using. If we need to cross-check or maybe the website goes down, oh, what was that article? Where is that one? SEO for private schools, reach full enrollment. Okay, so we need to come back over and pull it back out and re-upload it to the site. Something like that could happen. So we've got the title here. Okay, the focus keyword, SEO for private schools. The LSI keyword, how SEO works for private schools. Okay, cool. Now there might be a couple other ones in here. What is SEO for private schools? Oh, here's one. What private schools need to know about SEO. This is an LSI keyword and also school. These are both keywords. School marketing agency. I'm going to add another keyword to the front of it, private school. Because if they look up PRI, private school marketing agency, if they look up school marketing agency, the keyword's still here. If they happen to look up private school marketing agency, the keyword's also there. So this is kind of what we call like a double keyword there. And you can do that. You can have keywords that have multiple different ways of saying that. So private school marketing. Okay. And these are also LSI keywords. So as I'm writing the article and we're considering what we want to do as we go through the article, I want to be aware that these are the keywords that I want to make sure are in the post. Now, so we've kind of grounded. This is our outline or our table of contents, whatever we want to call table of contents, just kind of getting familiar with the article so we all know what we're looking at. Okay, now this then is the intro. So now we know what we're looking for. So first things first, let's make sure we have our headers correct. Now this article is fully written and it needs to be optimized for SEO. So that's what we're doing right now. So first things first, the header title up here should be header 1, and you'll see this is header 1. So we're good here. Now the subtitles should be header 2s. And so you'll see this is a header 2. Now also we center these titles. This is not for any in particular reason other than it's consistent with the formatting on ClickMill. So we have centered the title, we have bolded the title, and it is a header 2. So I'm going to go through the article. Look, is this header 2? Yes. This is not a header 2. This is going to be a header 3 because how SEO works for private school, well, hey, here are things that need to be in your plan. Keyword research, on-page SEO. So these would be header 3s. and that is a header 3. Now you'll notice this is not bold. It's not consistent with the format. So we're going to go ahead and bold the header 3. I also leave, this is again, just ClickMill specifically, but depending on the organization you're working with, the formatting may be a little different here. It doesn't impact SEO, but we are going to left align our header 3s to kind of separate them out, make them look a little bit more listy than the actual header 2. So we can kind of tell the difference. It starts to look really weird when you got header 2s and header 3 centered. It's like, wait, where am I at? So change it up here. So we've got bold header 3. Let's just check header 3, header 3, header 3, header 3. Good. This should be a header 2. What private schools need to know about SEO, header 2. So you can see how we're going to go down and we're going to check all of these, and I'm not going to check them all here because the point of the video isn't to just totally fix everything in here. It's to show you the process. Okay. But we've got header. Now this one's a problem. School marketing consultants here. That's great. Hire us as a private school. And I have to fix these. I changed it up in the title. I now need to change it here. Private school marketing agency and private school marketing consultants. Okay. So that matches. Now, facts on SEO for private schools. Now, firstly, we do on ClickMill, this is just formatting. Okay, we do caps all the letters in the titles. Now, this should be a header 2. This is a whole section of the article, and this is a header 3. So we're going to come in here. I'm going to come here. ChatGPT, if you're working with an AI, does not always. Sometimes you mess it up yourself. Sometimes the AI won't put things out correctly. However you're doing it, we want to double check. Okay. So we know that the headers are correct. Now I want to get into a little bit more of why this is the case. Okay. And what we're going to do to understand that is we're going to look at a little bit of HTML code. Ladies, have you had any training in HTML code before?
I had a little bit of HTML and CSS.
Okay. Definitely not going to get into CSS today. And I am not a pro in coding, but but I know enough to get by. Okay, there we go. Head. Okay. So when we look at HTML, oh my gosh, why does it keep doing that? When we look at HTML, I'll just make this bigger for now. Normal text, and we'll just go bigger. There we go. When we look at HTML, this is essentially how the internet is structured. This tells computers and specifically web browsers like Google Chrome or Firefox or whatever you're using, it tells the browser how to read and organize the page. Okay, so you have 3 sections of a page in HTML. You have the header, and actually I think it's called header, but now I'm looking at it, it looks weird. Header, body, and these are called tags. So you have the body tag, this is code, and then you have footer, and you've got footer. Okay, now when you're looking at these sections, you'll see it also, all the HTML files will open with something that's like, oh my gosh, doc type equals, I think I could totally be wrong, but HTML. And this says, oh, there it is again, HTML. And this says open the document, the HTML document file. It tells the browser to open it. The browser opens the file and it starts reading it. Okay, so then it's going to read the header. And then whatever falls in between the header open and this little backslash says the header is closing. Okay, end of header, whatever falls right in here is going to be what is going to load on that page. Now, usually this is going to be like a header menu in here, and this is going to be your footer down at the very bottom with your, copyright, ClickMill copyright 2024, and then a couple links and like a black background or something like that. When we're looking at blogs, it's usually going to be in the body of the page. And what will happen is you'll see body open, okay? And then in between the body open and the body closed, you're going to have different things. And it's going to be tabbed in like this. And you're going to have, for example, H1. And the H1 is going to close like this. And that is the header 1. This is why we're talking about this. And then you're going to see H1, and it's going to have the little backslash on there, and it's going to close. And whatever is written in here is the header 1. Okay. So let's say, all caps here, super, excuse me, super important title, title. There we go. Super important title, close header 1. And then what happens? We're going to have a P. Oh, we're still caps P. And then we're going to open this \P close. Now this is paragraph. This is normal text. This is just paragraph text. And this is, lorem ipsum font, lorem ipsum other, paragraph text. I'm just writing random stuff now. Okay. So this is the paragraph text. And it just keeps going. Okay. So then maybe instead of the header 1, we've got a little paragraph after the header 1. We'll call this our intro. And then when we get further in, we're going to have a header 2. And the header 2 is not super important. It's just important. All right. Emily is coming in. All right. So this is just important. And I want to make sure you can all still see my screen. Yes. Okay. Okay. So this is an important title, but not super important. Okay. Now the question is why? Okay. So this is how Google's spider bots, Google's algorithm that crawls the web page. This is what it sees. It doesn't see your writing. It sees all of this code. Okay. And the code is much longer than your writing, obviously, to make it look all of this certain way. Okay. And there's way more to it than this too. I'll just go in and just add if you want to bold your title, it's something like, and again, I'm not a coder, but it's something very similar to this. You have the header 1, but you want to bold the header 1. So you're going to go ahead and put your open bracket bold. And then you have to go here, \, close the bold and close the bold bracket. So now this will show up super important title bold. This is what happens behind the scene. Now, in order for Google to come in and go through a whole article, it has to have processing power to read all this stuff. And so what Google doesn't want to do is it doesn't want to read every single thing on every single page. That's just going to take an unlimited amount of resources. So Google, the algorithm, prioritizes looking for certain elements of your page. And now the keywords are obviously an element it's looking for, but where does it look? It's going to look in the most important areas and focus on those. Now, when you have 2,000 to 4,000 words of text, Google is just not going to read all that. I have actually seen some people who got called up by Google and chastised, and I think their website got kicked off of Google because they wrote an entire article and SEO targeted it, keyword targeted all the titles and all this stuff and did whatever they did. And the text in all of the paragraphs for whatever 1,000 or 2,000 words of the article was all lorem ipsum text. It was all fake Latin text that meant nothing, just to show that Google's not actually reading the articles. Okay. Now that may change over time as AI starts reading the articles, but still that's going to take a lot of processing power. So in the near future, I just doubt that Google's going to be reading everything. So what that means then is we want to prioritize the important messages to Google in the important areas of the article. So that is going to be definitely in the header 1. You should have your keyword in that header 1 title at least one time, and sometimes you can finagle it and put it in there twice. SEO for private schools. So instead of saying reach full enrollment, I actually sent this over to one of our clients who's at a private school, and he's like, I don't like the reach full enrollment, make it something else. So maybe it's something more like SEO for private schools. What is SEO and how does it work for private schools? Well, now you've got the keyword in there like 2 times. And again, Google's going to be seeing all those keywords working together, and it's going to show you more often because it's going to prioritize that when the bot crawls the website. Okay, so then it's going to prioritize the header 2s. So we need to make sure we have the keywords and the LSI keywords in those header 2s. And again, the header 2s are essentially your outline, your table of contents. I'll bold that so we can see that a little better. Okay. So what private schools need to know about SEO? That is a keyword. That's an LSI keyword. SEO for private schools. That's the whole thing. Oh, these are, I don't know why I have this. These are keywords. Here we go. This is the outline. What is SEO for private schools? How SEO works for private schools? What private schools need to know about SEO? Those are all keywords. And then we'll go through all of the little subsections of SEO. What are keywords? What is, linking and page speed and all this other stuff, whatever. We'll break it down. And then we've got private school marketing agency, so you can see how this starts to fall together. But the point I want to make in here is you need to understand how Google reads the page so that you can talk to Google and meet Google's need. If we want Google to come to us for its content needs, we need to meet Google's need. And if we want people to come to us for their actual needs, we have to write content that appeals to their needs. So we got to juggle two, and this is what makes this hard. Do you guys have any questions on how Google reads the page and why we're structuring the headers and why we're putting the keywords in the headers the way we are?
No, don't think so.
Doing good? Okay.
Yep.
Everybody else, all right? Okay. Good deal. So in this video, we have talked about keyword targeting, our header ones, our header twos. Okay. And that's the most important. Having keywords in header threes is important, but not as important. We still do want to include them. So with that, thank you for being in this video. In the next video, we're going to continue looking at how to do on-page SEO optimizations for the blogs on your website. God bless.